Hello Lantern Magician, I'm Jay, your guide to cut through the hype and actually master your EOS M.
So my last video, episode 7, was all about gear, what you actually need to start shooting raw on Magic Lantern. It did really well, great feedback, solid discussion. So before we move on to the next step, your computer setup, I'm dropping a quick part 2. Two things came up that deserve all proper mention while they're still fresh. This will be short. Let's get into it. First, the Matbox. I said it's mostly overkill for this camera, and I stand by that, but someone commented with a genuinely good counterexample, and it's worth sharing because it actually proves the point in a different direction. He shoots entertainment events, dancers, performers, pretty people who absolutely know they're pretty. And in that world, the Matbox becomes basically the peacock of cameras. The biggest rig in the room pulls attention. People drift toward it. The most beautiful performers want to be seen by that camera, so in his case, building the tiny EOS M into a ridiculous monster does actually improve the final image. Not technically, the sensor doesn't care, but because better talent walks toward him and more beautiful faces in front of your lens absolutely does improve the result. For him, it works. For me, it's the opposite. I've shot inside large public demonstrations, volatile environments, thousands of people. In that situation, a big rig doesn't make you look professional. It makes you look like a target. Half the crowd assumes you're press or aligned with something. The other half wants to perform for the camera. Either way, you lose control instantly. So I go the other direction. Small, light, invisible. That's what actually gets the shot. Which brings me back to the filter that applies to everything, not just Matboxes. Will this actually improve your image in your situation, not someone else's, yours? If the answer is yes and you have a real reason, buy it. If the answer is,
it looks sick,
that's a symptom, not a reason. Before we go any further, and if you haven't done so already, make sure to grab your free EOS M Blueprint Starter Kit. It's the companion guide for this entire series. Whether you're brand new or you've been following along for a while, you'll automatically get the latest updates whenever a new episode drops. The link is in the description. The second thing I wanted to add is lenses. I mentioned cheap, modern manual lenses as a decent beginner option last time, and that's still true. But what I should have added is that right now there's a genuinely ridiculous amount of excellent glass sitting in the bargain bin, not because it got worse, but because the marketing machine moved on and declared it unfashionable. Here's how I think about it. You know, when you buy a new car, drive it off the forecourt, and 30% of the value has already evaporated before you've reached the first set of traffic lights. You haven't done anything wrong. The car is identical to what it was 60 seconds ago. The market just decided. That's exactly what's happening with lenses. Canon moved to RF, new mount, new campaign, new set of buzzwords, and suddenly apparently you need to rebuild your entire kit from scratch. The manufacturers do what manufacturers always do. Fine, let the zombies follow. For everybody else, this creates opportunity. EF, in many cases Canon's flagship full-frame glass, proper serious lenses built when Canon actually had something to prove, didn't suddenly become bad. The mount changed. The optics didn't. Especially in EF mount, there's an absurd amount of third-party glass out there. Sigma, Tamron, Tokina, and others. From dirt-cheap practical tools to genuinely superb lenses. EFS, designed specifically for smaller sensors, is massively underrated. Crisp, reliable, and now genuinely affordable. And EFM, native mount, no adapter, compact, lightweight, designed for this exact sensor size, with a smaller but still useful range of both Canon and third-party options. And if you want that compact APS-C setup that actually punches above its weight, the Sigma Trio for EFM. Fast, sharp, strong when the light disappears. Those lenses were praised for a reason. And that didn't stop being true because the industry moved on to the next shiny mount. Bottom line, last generation glass is worth looking into. Sharp, reliable, affordable. I recently rented premium L lenses for $8 a day. In my opinion, what we looked at in this video beats vintage, especially on the EOS M, which is already soft to begin with. Adding vintage softness on top of that can quickly get you into Polaroid territory, whereas pairing it with last-gen sharpness, to me at least, just makes more sense. These lenses were excellent recently, they are excellent now, they just Drove off the forecourt. Prices vary depending on where you are, but the deals are out there. Next episode, your computer setup. What do you really need to edit Magic Lantern RAW? What specs matter? And what's marketing nonsense? Can you survive on a weaker machine? Short answer, yes, with the right tricks. If your laptop wheezes every time DaVinci opens, this one's for you.